Brace for the possible severe weather over the next 2 days. The Texas Water Development Board is making a major announcement to help save people from flooding in the future. It comes from $6.8 million in emergency funding from the legislature. Our Josh Hinkle has an in-depth look at the new safety tools you'll be able to use.
Among the experts and the officials, a father made sure the Texas Water Development Board would hear his plea during this process.
So, Mr. Schultz, thank you for being here, sir.
Steve Schultz's daughter, Laura McComb, and her 2 children were among those who died during the heavy flooding near Wimberley last May.
They weren't getting warnings. They didn't have warnings. And no TV, so they didn't see anything on TV or anything.
Those words helped Chairman Beck Brune and the other board members make a decision: how to spend millions of emergency dollars to save lives.
If we click on the red button here, for example, there's one that's showing in moderate flood.
Now the board has developed a website, texasflood.org, a user-friendly, one-stop site for just about anything people in flood-prone areas would need to know.
Easy to get to, that's easy to see, and that's accessible not just on a computer, but as well on a smartphone.
The site will have updates from the hundreds of existing river gauges across the state, and the board is installing at least 30 more in the coming months. Many, like the new ones upstream of Wimberley, will have cameras for viewers to watch the rising waters.
Someone that lives in Wimberley can go to texasflood.org and be able to click on the specific gauge and see what the conditions are.
And some of the gauges will be faster.
Every 15 minutes, we think that's a good barometer and a place to be.
The board is also collaborating with the National Weather Service to install weather systems at streams across the state, rain collection and soil moisture calculation for better forecasts. 5 of these devices just went in upriver from Wimberley.
Really, the emergency appropriation has given us an opportunity to step up and be more engaged on the infrastructure side.
Along with that infrastructure, communities can now apply for grants from the Water Development Board for early warning devices like this. That application period runs through June 17th. You can find a link to that application and the state's website on our own website, kxan.com. In Hays County, Josh Hinkle, KXAN News.
Thank you, Josh. All of this work almost went off the rails at one point. A KXAN investigation last fall revealed a financial snag that could have kept millions for disaster planning out of Texans' hands. Well, as that deadly flooding hit in May of last year, state lawmakers were wrapping up the legislative session, challenged in making budget changes so late in the game. Lawmakers worked with the governor's office on a last-minute tweak to a bill for this emergency funding, but we discovered the money eventually went to the wrong account and not to flood preparedness. After our coverage, the governor ordered immediate funding, and the problem is now fixed. Join us this Sunday morning at 8:30 for a special edition of State of Texas In Depth, when we speak one-on-one with the man who spearheaded this funding, Austin Senator Kirk Watson.